Good day, everyone. I am Nashida Arondato and another reporter for the Group 6. And for my this is the continuation of partnerships and establishing community linkages. And for my parts, I'm going to discuss is the community linkages. So here's the objective of my presentations. First is to understand what community linkages is. Second, to understand the needs and importance of community linkages. The next one is identify the deep ed school programs relating to school and community partnership. Okay, so as we can see here in the pictures, the left side is the school and the right side is the community, and then the middle is community linkages. So, as we, by looking at these pictures, we can describe that the community linkages is a connections between the schools and the community. So, from the word itself, linkages, meaning a forming of connections between the two or more. So this image shows an idea that school activities are meaningfully intended or connect to the experience and aspirations of the students, home, and community. So, kumbaga, nag-connect yung dalawang terms, the school and the community, and that's what we call the community linkages. Okay, so we have here the complete definition of what is a community linkages. So what is community linkages? So we have here the definitions. It is a connections or relationships between the schools and local communities or community resources. So like what I've said earlier, that our keywords in these community linkages is the connection or relationship between the school and the community. So, keywords natin is connections. We have another definition here. It is a relationship between schools and local communities, connections between schools and community resources. Okay, so again and again, it is a relationship or connection of the school and community in terms also with the resources, sharing resources of the school and community relationship, or help the school and the community help one another. Okay, so for the next one. Okay, so who are the common linkages? So, sino nga ba yung mga involved dito sa linkages, community linkages? Okay, so we have here the parents and the teacher and the LGU. Okay, so in short, it is the partnership of parents, school, community, relationship, or partnership. Okay, so for the first one, of course, in a community linkages, it involves the parents because they are the guidance of the children or the students, and also having the parents and the community involvement may contribute to the quality of the schools and the standards of the attitude or behavior of our learners. Example is the PTE, the parents-teacher relationships is the PTE meeting. So, where the teacher and the parents discuss of what is what better for the students, and the different programs that related to the community as well. Where while the school and the LGU relationship is, for example, during there is a program in the school, and where the needed secured of the LGU officials, or for example, in a barangay officials. So the school is requesting for the secure of the school, or requesting to the local officials. For example, during the graduation day, diba? Sometimes the teacher requests some security for the safetyness of everyone. So The parents, the school, the community aims the same goal, which is for the safety and development of the learners and as a whole. Okay, so like what I've said earlier, that there are schools program that needed the support of the family and the community. So what are the things, or what are those programs? So we have here the DepEd school program relating to school community partnerships. Okay, so the first one here is the Brigada Escuela. So I think most of us is familiar with this. Brigada Escuela is happening annually during the first week of the school. It is the annual program of the DepEd. Usually it takes every first week of the class in order for the preparations, where every one of the schools or the community work together to prepare the schools or the first week of the school, or preparation for the opening of the schools. So, diba, as we observe, there is a community linkages of the family, community, and the schools. So that is one example of a community linkages. Secondly, okay, so like what I've said also, ito yung PTE, ito yung parents-teacher relationships, and the association of the teacher and parents, with the purpose nito is to build a strong relationship between the parents, with the purpose between the parents and teachers and the school as a whole, also to improve or to make the parents have an awareness of the behavior of her or his children. In that way, they can help together to enhance the behavior of the students. Or in this PTA meeting, it can address all the academic and behavior of the learners. So in that way, they create a relationship or community linkages. Okay, so for the third one is DepEd Tulong Kabataan. Okay, so this program is created by the Kabataan. So the aims is to help one another and calling for donations to help the people that is in need. So this is the program of the Kabataan. And then for the fourth one is the NGO, or the non-government organizations. Okay, so there are still many organizations or non-government organizations that work to help the people in need, or the schools that in need. It is not only strengthen the schools and community participation, but also to improve the quality of education system as a whole, such as by for example, introducing modern technology for the curriculum development. So in this program naman is not only focused na para magkaroon ng partnership and school and community, but also introduce different programs to support the educational curriculum. So that's for the fourth one. And then the fifth one is the anti-dengue. So as you can see, diba, in schools it is really important to clean up. So the aim of this program is to determine the level of knowledge and practice of dengue control among the school and the community. Also to explore the factors of effect of practice degree of the control in the study area. Also, pinaka-main purpose nito is to reduce the rates of the rates of being affected of the dengue infections. So in short, #safety yung purpose ng program ito, which is it is in the community or in the schools. And then the sixth one is this is also an annually program, the nutrition days, as you can see in elementary and high school and senior high. This is a yearly being celebrated, the nutrition month, but This program of DepEd, this is not just an eating program, but this program bring an attention and awareness to the importance of the making food choice. So, and of course, to have an awareness na hindi malnutrition. So of course, it involves also the community and as well as the schools. Okay, so that's for the DepEd school program relating to the school community participants. So this is just a common program, but the DepEd school program has napakarami yung program na DepEd. So kumbaga ni-select lang natin ito. This is the most common program that is relating to the community partnership. Okay, so to sum up, this program is like what I said earlier. Kumbaga, ang pinaka-summarize nito is this program is the parents, the school, and the community relationship or linkages in which this all program has one goal: to have a good quality of the school, the parents, the students, and the community as a whole. So they have shared common program or goal. Okay, so for another slide, community linkages involves. Okay, so what involves in these community linkages? So first one is use of school or neighborhood facilities and equipment. So like what I've said earlier, that's sharing schools facilities. For example, the equipment and facilities of the school can be shared with the community. For example, the chair, diba sometimes there are programs that kailangan ng mga chair or the room itself. And then sharing the other resources. So the school and the community share resources. For example, also is the students sometimes in a community program, it needs the participants. So sometimes they invite students. And then for the third one is collaborative fundraising and grant applications. And then of course, in a relationship between community and school, it always creates a collaborative, and of course it grants an applications. And then the next one is volunteer assistance. So in every program of the community, it is not necessary that it need the participants of the students. So sometimes there are programs that volunteer. It needs the volunteer of the students. For example, is the clean up community. So it depends on the students or the schools to participate with that program. And then mentoring and training from professionals and other with special expertise. So an example for this is, for example, in a pageant, community pageant sa community, and then it nag-join yung schools or the students. So, sometimes dito sa amin is nangyari na din yung iba sinasabi na, for example, representing the barangay Tambakan. Yun yung sa community, and then kumbaga yung school naman, from school naman is representing the Marawi City National High School, for example. So it both participant, the community and the school. So of course, in this kind of program, it needs the mentor and the training of professionals. And then we have here networking. Of course, in a relationship, there always need a networking or connections, or kumbaga pagkakasundo ng the schools and the community. And then recognition and public relations. So recognizing each participant of each program. And then shared responsibility for planning. So like what I've said, community linkages share one goal, or they have the same goal in need to be achieved. And for the next one is expanding opportunities for internships, jobs, and recreation. So example, in a program, it needs facilitators, so they can hire facilitators to secure their program. So it expand or it gives an opportunities for a chaps. And then building a sense of community. So kumbaga, if there's a good relationship between the school and the program, means it gives a good a sense of community, or create a good quality of the school and the community. Okay, so we have here another one. What can community linkages do? Okay, so for the first one, it improves the effectiveness and efficiency of the school. So like what I've said earlier, it improves the school itself and the community. It creates a unity and peace community that and also development of the schools and the community and the students. It creates a good quality of the school. And then strengthen the neighborhoods, it creates a strong relationship of the schools and the community. And then lead to a noticeable reduction in young people's problems. So it is easier for the future to create or to build a relationship between the schools and the community, since it's already being created, or as the relationship or a good relationship continues, so it is easier for the future to solve the problem. And then for the next one is it enhanced effectiveness. So effectiveness in a way, for example, the skills, and of course in community is the maintaining the organizing of the events. So kumbaga, it has a good quality of an event. And then provide a comprehensive, multi-faceted and integrated continuum of interventions. And then for the last one is support all youth, families, and their learning. So of course, parents, school, community linkages will always give support from one another. Kumbaga, the school is masasandalan niya yung community, and of course the community itself is pwede ring masandalan yung school. So in short, they help each other, and they share a common one goal, which is to have a good quality school community and for the students and the community netizens. Okay, so that's all for my part, the community linkages. So I hope that you have learned something about the community linkages. Okay, so always remember our keywords about the community linkages, which is it is the connections or relationship, and the sum up of this presentation is it is mainly focused on the parents, school, and community relationships, and the effect of this to the school, to the community, and to the learners. So that's all for my part. Thank you so much for listening.